So it looks like the statement by Suella Braverman, the Home Secretary of the United Kingdom, is generating a lot of discourse amongst current immigrants in the United Kingdom, especially those that are currently students and are hoping to get their postgraduate work visa afterwards, or aspiring immigrants, or especially the ones going to the student immigration route. So in today's video, we're going to look at what are the implications of that statement, what's the probability of it happening, and what you should do in anticipation of whatever is going to happen. But before we begin, if you're new here, please subscribe and click on the notification button so you get notified every time we drop a video like this in the future. I wouldn't waste too much of your time, so we'll get into this immediately. So the current 2-year postgraduate work visa was just reintroduced in 2019. At the time, the UK government thought it was really necessary. As you can remember, in 2017, the cost of education was skyrocketing, and cancelling the postgraduate work visa was seen as a deterrent by students at the time. But it's looking as though this initiative that was introduced in 2019 is going to be short-lived. At least it appears so. Let's listen to the Home Secretary herself.
Overall, we need to get net migration down. And that is
That's policy.
Unfiltered, unvarnished, unapologetic view. Overall migration, net migration, however you want to call it, needs to come down. 239,000 was the last number, if you subtract the number of people coming in from the number going out. And that's really the same as pre-Brexit levels, and we haven't cut overall migration numbers.
We have left the European Union and the numbers are still the same as pre-Brexit levels.
I agree, and I think for me, and I'm not embarrassed to say it, I voted and campaigned for Brexit for sovereignty, but also because I wanted to reduce migration, and for a whole host of reasons. There are structural pressures that mass and rapid migration poses to our country on housing supply, on house prices, on the number of GP places, on school places, on you know, we are dealing with more and more people, and I think it's fair and reasonable, in fact, incumbent on a government to take a rational and pragmatic view on the numbers of people coming into this country. So yes, I still stand by the Brexit promise and by our 2019 manifesto pledge to reduce overall numbers on migration. And that's my very firmly held view. I think, you know, we've got to definitely substantially reduce the number of students, the number of work visas, and particularly the number of dependents and low-skilled visas.
As I wouldn't want to get into the politics of this, I just want to get into what this will mean to those currently in the United Kingdom, especially as students hoping to get a postgraduate work visa, and what it will mean for those of you who are still waiting to get your student visa to be able to immigrate to the United Kingdom and consequently get your 2-year postgraduate work visa. If you're finding this information helpful, click on the like button. It helps the algorithm to be able to share this information with people that might also want this information. And if you haven't subscribed, please remember to subscribe. As you might know already, United Kingdom universities have very high acceptance rates for students applying to the universities, and most of the time it's almost guaranteed that you get a visa once you get an acceptance letter from most of the universities. Now, from the statement by the Home Secretary, it looks like dependents are going to be cut from these visas. So most likely, even when you get an acceptance letter from the universities in the United Kingdom, you might get a visa, but your dependent might not be able to get a visa. The exact details of this is yet to be known, but this is the most likely scenario.
So I think what's happened is we've come out of the EU and we've delivered our points-based system. Pretty and Boris did design and implement the new points-based system.
And it's not working.
I wouldn't say it's not working. It's working in the way that they wanted it to work. So they used their levers that they have, they exercise their control, and the result is we issued a record number of visas last year, just over 1 million work and study visas plus dependents. So that was a decision made by the government. My view going forward is we have to use the levers in a different way. Okay. And I think we should start saying, right, we've issued a record number of visas, we still haven't got net migration down. My view is we need to start using those levers to pull the numbers down.
It's 1 million over 2 years. How many will you issue over 2 years, next 2 years?
Well, I can't commit to numbers because there's so many unpredictable events. But
would you like to? Would you like to issue?
I want to bring the numbers down. So I think we've seen what we have seen in the last year alone. Actually, I've got the figures here. Between 2021 and 22, we saw work visas, just in the space of 12 months, increase from 171,000 to over 300,000. That's a 94% increase. Student visas in the last 12 months, they went up 72%. So I think we've seen massive increases in the number of work visas issued and the number of students, and plus their dependents. So that's where the increases come from. I think we need to look more closely at the kinds of workers who are coming into this country. We frankly have too many low-skilled workers coming into this country. I think we need to focus on bringing high-skilled workers in and reduce the number of low-skilled. I think we have too many students coming into this country who are propping up, frankly, substandard courses in inadequate institutions. And I think poor universities are being bankrolled by foreign students, and I would really like to see that number come down. The dependents, you know, you can get a student visa and you can bring family members. We're seeing quite a large number of students bringing family members. I would say, if you're coming here for an undergraduate degree, is it justifiable that you bring your family members? No. If you're coming here on low-skilled work on a temporary visa, is it justified that you bring your family members in? No. I would say if you're here on highly skilled work for a long period of time, then yes, there might be an argument. So these are levers open to us.
So as you can hear from the statement, it looks like the UK government is trying to target those with high experience, which will mean people with very many years of experience, and perhaps this could also apply to people coming for their PhDs or their master's degree. It is very likely that those that will be going for their undergraduate studies might not be granted visas for their dependents. It is still possible, however, that even PhDs and master's students might still be affected by this. Now, the next question is, what would happen to those already in the country? So let's hypothetically say that you just got into the country this year, and if this plan comes into place next year, you'll be able to finish your course of study, and after that, just like 2012, most likely you might be given about 4 months to get a job, after which if you do not get a job in 4 months, you might unfortunately have to leave. However, they might shift base a little bit here and make this rule a little bit different for those that have already been granted student visas. Now, as there's so many speculations, you're just gonna have to be on the watch out on this one. So what then do you do while you wait for the UK Home Secretary to make a decision and you already have a student visa? The best thing would be for you to start networking now and hoping you might be able to get a job immediately after you finish school, as you might just have very few months to be able to do this. And then what do you do if you don't have a student visa yet? You might stand a better chance if you have years of experience from the country you're coming from. So while we wait for this, there is a glimmer of hope here though. Now, as much as this was a statement by the Home Secretary, there's still so many variables that might happen. As you might know, Liz Truss, the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, is currently battling to keep her job. With a change of government, so many policies might also change. Now, it remains to see if the majority of the Conservative Party or even the Liberals are in support of this policy. So if I were you, I'll keep my fingers crossed. At the same time, plan for the worst case scenario. I wish you the best in any decision you make. Now, if you found this video helpful, please click on the like button and remember to subscribe and share with anybody you feel this information might be helpful to. And also, there are so many other options that you might want to consider, e.g. Canada. If you'd like to see a video in which I made comparing the United Kingdom to Canada, click on this video. Remember, it is a deliberate expert, and have a beautiful day.